Hi everyone. Today we're starting an exciting journey into the basis of cloud world with Microsoft Azure Fundamentals, also known as AZ900. I'm Shakirat, a Microsoft certified trainer. If you ever wonder about the magic behind cloud computing or how to kickstart your journey with Microsoft Azure, you are in the right place. Let's have our target audience. So this course is targeted for IT professional seeking a fundamental understanding of Azure, converting core concepts and services. It's also tailored for developers aiming to deploy, manage, and scale application using Azure services. And it's ideal for students aspiring to build a strong foundation in cloud computing and Azure fundamental. And lastly, it is relevant for business leaders exploring cloud solutions, providing insight into the benefits and possibility of Azure. Let's check the prerequisites of this course. There are no general prerequisites for this course, but you should have the desire to learn and understand how Azure can help you scale your cloud computing services. Next is the skills snapshot. Let's discuss the key skills you'll be honing throughout the Azure Fundamental journey. This includes the study guide and the weight each of it carries. The first one is going to be the cloud concept mastery. This is taking a 25 to 30% of the weight. And in this, you are going to acquire a solid understanding of fundamental cloud computing concepts. Then you are going to explore how cloud technologies have revolutionized business strategies. The next one is Azure architecture and services, which is taking a 35 to 40%. You're going to explore how Azure is built and how it works. Also, get familiar yourself with the extensive range of available services. And lastly is the Azure management and governance, which is taking a 30 to 35%. In this, you will master the essential of efficient resource management in Azure and gain insight into governance structure for maintaining seamless operation. So let's go to introduction to Microsoft Azure Fundamental. Microsoft Azure Fundamental is a dynamic cloud platform offering services for diverse business needs. Now, from web hosting to fully virtualized solution, Azure provides remote storage, database hosting, Internet of Things, and other services. Okay, let's move to the next topic, which is what is Azure Fundamental? Like, what actually is Azure Fundamental? Azure Fundamental is your gateway to understanding Azure services, more like exploring compute, networking, storage, security, governance, and management. So we won't do this without understanding the main cloud computing. What exactly is cloud computing? Before we move deeply into Azure, we need to understand what cloud computing is. Cloud computing is a service delivery model that operates over the internet, including diverse elements like computing power, such as utilizing servers like Windows, Linux, and hosting environments. Also, storage for the management of files and databases. Networking, which contains both within Azure and when connecting to company network externally. An analytical service for virtualizing and analyzing telemetry data. And lastly, we have the essentially, like, it enables the remote access and utilization of computing resources and service through the internet, providing scalability and flexibility without the necessity for local infrastructure. So let's talk about cloud model. What a cloud model? So these are essential dictates how cloud resources are deployed. Now there are three primary cloud model. We have the private, we have the public, and the hybrid cloud model. I'm going to be talking about public cloud model now. In a public cloud model, computing resources are owned and operated by a third party cloud service provider. These resources are made available to the general public or large industry group over the internet. Users of these typically access their managed resources through web browser or like the web browser or APIs, that's the application programming interface. Public cloud services are often like they offered on a pay as you go or subscription basis, allowing users to scale their resources up or down based on their needs. Let's move to private cloud. In a private cloud is operated solely for a single organization, whether it is managed internally or by third party provider. It offers the benefits of cloud computing such as scalability and resource efficiency while providing greater control and customization over the infrastructure. Now, the public clouds are often chosen by organizations with specific security, compliance, or performance requirements that may not be met by public cloud solutions. This is just a short difference between a public cloud and a private cloud. So now let's talk about hybrid cloud. In a simple and short term, hybrid cloud model combines elements of both the public and the private cloud. It allows data and application to be shared between them. Now, organization can use a mix of on-premise infrastructure, private cloud services, and public cloud services based on their specific needs. In hybrid cloud solution provide flexibility, enabling businesses to take advantage of scalability and cost efficiency of the public cloud while also retaining control over sensitive data through a private cloud or on-premise infrastructure. I hope this help us understand the difference between the public cloud, the private cloud, and the hybrid cloud. Okay, let's talk about share responsibility model. Simplifying the share responsibility model in cloud computing. Take for example, in a traditional data center, a company manage everything in the cloud. Responsibility are shared. The cloud provider handle physical security and infrastructure basis, while the consumers oversees data and access security. Responsibility varies by service provider. Now, last put more responsibility on consumers, while SaaS it places it on the provider, while PaaS strikes a balance between the two, that's between SaaS and LaaS. Now, as a customer, you will always be responsible for information and data stored in the cloud. Devices that are allowed to connect to your cloud, such as cell phone, computers, and so on. And then the account and identity of people, services, and device within your organization. From this diagram, we can see that customers are responsible for it under SaaS, PaaS, LaaS, and on-prem. Now, the next one is your service model will determine the responsibility like identities and infrastructure, the application, network control, operating system. So for this that we have under SaaS, it means that this is shared between Microsoft and the customer. This is also shared between Microsoft and the customer, but this is solely owned by Microsoft. That means Microsoft is going to take charge of your network control under SaaS and then operating system under SaaS. And then lastly, we are going to talk about the physical host, the network the physical network and the data center. For things like this, under SaaS and PaaS, Microsoft is solely responsible for taking the responsibility of doing all this. It's only on-prem that you have your own full responsibility to take care of. Now, this responsibility is moved to the cloud service providers. When comparing these together, we need to just understand what is responsible between the customer and Microsoft. And most of the questions, or some, when you go for interview questions, some are usually come out under this shared responsibility model. Okay, moving to consumption based model. When comparing IT infrastructure models, there are two types of expenses to consider. The first one is capital expenditure, also known as capex, and operational expenditure, also known as OpEx. In capitals, capitals involve one-time upfront costs for tangible resources. Examples are like building construction, parking lots, revamping, then data center construction or purchasing of vehicle. On the other hand, OpEx involve ongoing expenses for services or products over time. Example includes renting a convention center, leasing vehicles, or subscribing for cloud services. Cloud computing is categorized under OpEx due to its consumption-based model. Instead of paying for physical infrastructure and associated costs, you pay for the actual IT resource you use. This model offers several advantages. The first one is no upfront cost. Eliminates the need to invest in and manage costly infrastructure might not be fully utilized. Now, the next one is flexible resource allocation. It allows you to scale resource up and down based on current need. And lastly is cost efficiency. You only pay for the resource you use. In contrast to traditional data center, where estimating future resource needs to be crucial. Cloud-based model provides flexibility. Adjusting resources in the cloud is seamless. You can add more virtual machines when needed or remove them during low demand. This ensures efficient resource utilization without the challenges of overestimation or under-provisioning associated with traditional data centers. Now, let's move to compare cloud price. Cloud computing like Azure is a way of using computer service over the internet. Think of it like renting computer power and storage when you need it. You will pay as you go for the things that you need. Like with a pay as you go model, you only pay for what you use. Here are the great benefits of cloud computing like Azure. The first one is cost estimation, like a way to save money. You can plan your cost better and only pay for the service you actually use. It's like paying for the exact amount of electricity you need at home. The next one is operational efficiency, like easy operation. Unlike having your own computer stuff, Azure takes care of the hard part for you. You don't have to worry about fixing things. Azure handles it. And the last one is the scalability, which means you grow with your needs. If your business grows, no problem. You can easily get more computer power and storage, and when you don't need much you can scale it down. In a simple term, it is like borrowing a powerful computer from Azure only when you need it. When you are done you get it back, and you are charged only for the time you use it. This way you can solve problems and bring cool solutions to people without dealing with a technical stuff. That brings us to the ending of this tutorial. Thanks everyone. This concluded the introductory tutorial on Azure Fundamental. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends that are interested in learning Azure. Stay tuned for more Microsoft Azure videos. Thank you.